Hey guys, this is a bit of a kind of like spontaneous video. I am working on a better video to come out sometime in the near future, hopefully. But right now, it's Wednesday and Valve just announced a lot of crazy things that, well, really exciting things. And yes, you got clickbaited. So, Valve has made their first, not first, but has made a console basically. And yeah, it's not actually a console. It's more in lines with it being a plug plug. I would like to call it, and some people have already started calling this like a plug and play PC. Funny enough, it's kind of what the new Xbox is supposed to be. They're just doing it first. So I really want to see how that's gonna play out with like how the Xbox console is gonna differentiate itself when that does come out in the sometime near future, maybe in the next like 2-3 years. So we don't have to worry about that for now because Valve has officially announced the Steam Machine. If you're wondering why I'm looking over here, this is where my monitor is, my screen is, and I will be pulling it up on screen so you don't have to stare at my ugly face the whole time. But yeah, Valve has announced three new pieces of hardware: a controller, like a Steam controller thing, a new VR headset, and what I think a lot of people are talking about, even though the VR headset's actually really cool, but once again, it's kind of in a niche space, so it isn't as cool as like the Steam Machine is what it's called. Honestly, I think that's a pretty rock solid name, and I'm pretty hype. I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty damn hype because the basically the new machines are going to be PCs, but running SteamOS, which is already, if you know about SteamOS, you know that it's basically the best version or the best thing to use if you're trying to make your handheld a console like experience. Even with the new Xbox full screen, that still isn't as good. My bad, I'm picking up things. Isn't as good to some extent as SteamOS. But I mean, Xbox full screen does fix a lot of issues with just trying to game like that on Windows, so it is a improvement. But still, if you are, I guess you say, interested in the best, you're getting some extra performance and you don't care about multiplayer games and stuff that use anti-cheat, then yeah, getting SteamOS is the best thing. So basically, a SteamOS machine, we've already seen that a lot already. People, ever since SteamOS became officially available for people to get, and even before that, people were using a version of SteamOS called Bazite. It's an unofficial way, but people were using that to make like their like dream PC for like the living room because it's just plug and play basically. You're just on it. It boots up into a full screen picture that shows you into a full screen mode that shows you all your Steam games and your Steam library and allows you to basically play anything that is, you know, not like a multiplayer shooter or just a multiplayer game that has anti cheat. But yeah, the new consoles, if I can find them, have, just for the specs so far that we've heard, this it does put this PC console like machine in between like the Xbox Series X and PS5, closer to the PS5 is from what I've heard, but it's an AMD Zen 4 6-core CPU. It has 16 gigabytes of, I don't know what type of RAM, but 16 gigabytes of RAM, and the GPU is like semi-custom. It's apparently AMD RDNA 3 with 28 CU, and the VRAM is something that I did see that is kind of a point of like criticism slash, you know, it really does question how future proof this console will be. It only has 8 gigabytes of VRAM, which for modern day AAA games and stuff is very very tight. And obviously it's running SteamOS. There's going to be two variants, a 512 gigabyte variant and then a 2 terabyte variant, which is probably going to be obviously more expensive and probably the version that people will want to get. So yeah, and then the thing that I'm actually going to be able to afford, is the Steam controller. It's gonna have TMR6, which is just an improvement on Hall Effect. It's gonna be, it has a 2.4 gigahertz puck to charge, and I guess potentially to use it like that. I'm not sure. I know for charging it's definitely that. It's Bluetooth and can be used wired via USB-C. I'm pretty sure. It has, oh, the battery life is 35 plus hours of use. It has 2 trackpads, so it's basically, I don't know if you guys saw, but I've been seeing a lot of the whole, like the leaks of the Steam controller that they were working on, which turns out they was real, and it was basically a Steam Deck controller, but just like mashing together. Obviously, I'll put a picture on screen of what I'm looking at, if it's not already on screen. And the back, oh yeah, it has 2 back pedals, and it has a little 3-pin connector, which is going to be used to charge and stuff. I've heard that the controller is actually surprisingly comfortable and ergonomic. Seems pretty cool. It's probably the thing that I will actually get. They also did announce a new VR headset, which I did mention. Personally, like, obviously I'm interested in it, but I don't think I'm going to be able to afford getting this. It's a bit on the pricier end of things, so I probably won't be able to afford it. Obviously, we have no prices confirmed for any of this, nor release like date. We have a release window, which is 2026. So, hey Valve, if you're watching this, please throw a brother a bone and, give me, the VR headset, the Steam machine, the controller, an extra controller, a third controller, help someone out. Be generous, please. Because I don't think I'll be able to afford anything other than the controller, which is fine by me. I don't need another PC. I have a very solid PC, plus I have a bunch of consoles. So for gaming, I'm okay. But yeah, to move on from just like the facts and the stuff and the specs, I'm very interested in the Steam machine, particularly the VR. I can't really talk about it a lot too much. I'm not really, like, I have a VR headset, which is the PSVR 2, so don't judge me too hard, but I have that. It's a valid, for the most part, headset, but hey, I don't use it often, so I can't really, I'm not someone to talk about VR like that. But what I can talk about, if I could get rid of this ad, Jesus, is the Steam machine. The Steam machine looks very interesting and promising, especially if it's supposed to be like, a plug and play PC. Not only do I think it'd be amazing for introducing people into PCs, but it's also just kind of like a console, because there is some complications, especially if the GPU on this Steam machine is going to be an issue. People are not going to be able to just set it up on their at their TV and then just plug and play, and then just be able to hit the road playing their favorite games on really good discounts without having to focus on settings, which is what a lot of people do on consoles. Especially with, now there is a bit more settings. You get like performance or quality or balance and stuff, but like that's very simple. You get 3 options and they tell you directly right there what they do, compared to PCs, where they have a whole ton of resolution options and like aspect ratios, and then VSync on or off, which may or may not be available on console depending on the game. But like there's a bunch more settings, especially all the quality settings, visual settings and stuff. So if someone has to go in and tinker there, that's definitely, I think, not going to be the most enjoyable experience for someone who's transitioning from console to this, or just picking this up on top of consoles. So for me, I don't know, like I with it. I think it's cool. Am I gonna get it? Depends on the price, and depends if it's worth it for me to get. I don't really have like a living room setup that I would need like that for. It'd be nice and it'd be cool, but I can live. If I'm honest, I could live. It's cool though. I would definitely love to get my hands on it. I'd love to get my hands on all of it, but I'm not. I don't have the funds for that. It is just a very cool thing to happen. I've been wanting them to do a console ever since I heard the rumors that they are. And I mean, doing it such a random drop feels insane. Like I didn't even know it happened until I went on Google for some reason. I was looking for I just Googled something, but then I just went to the home menu and it at the very bottom it showed me an article saying Steam machine launch or Steam machine announcement plus three other things, and I was like, what? So I went on YouTube and watched a whole like 50 long minute video of them just talking about, you know, their opinions on the thing. So which is basically what you may be doing. But yeah, no, this is a very cool piece of technology that is going to be coming out. I have my doubts on certain aspects, obviously money, like how much it's going to cost, and then the actual performance you'll get. I think it's really cool, and I'd love to get my hands on it. Please, Valve. I don't think I don't think they'll see this, but please, if you do, please. But yeah, I think it's really cool. From what I've heard, people really do like the first impressions from people that've been able to see it. People are messing with the VR headset a lot. People like the controller. They think it's, you know, a good controller. It's, you know, it implements good things and it's comfortable to use, and it's, you know, not like odd, you know, not uncomfortable or weird like the first Steam controller that they made, or an earlier model that they made back years ago. The Steam machine itself is the only one that I've heard that the hopes are there and people are happy and people are excited, but you know, there are, as I said, there are things to be a little concerned about or worried about, because who is this really for? Obviously, it might just be like, you know, the same way that the Steam Deck was, hey, you know, you want to play your games on the go? Here you go. And then this Steam machine is going to be, hey, you want to play your Steam games on your couch? Here you go. So if that's what it is, then I feel like if it's targeting, like, you know, just the Steam community, then it probably will work out better and people won't be too unhappy, except for if obviously it's not powerful enough at all. But if it lays somewhere between a PS5 to an Xbox, maybe closer to a PS5, then it should be fine. It is just, you know, for a PC, it's going to be a little underspec, and you know, people will probably have to find like the Steam machine settings the same way that there's like Steam or presets, the same way that there's Steam Deck presets. So, you know, whatever. But I'm definitely excited, and I'm going to continue following this, and I'll give any more updates on it and just talk about it myself, you know, give my own opinion on it, because, man, I'm excited. It's really cool. But we have to wait to see more and more about it. Anyways, thank you for watching. I know we haven't uploaded in a minute once again, even though I said last time that we were going to. And if this is your first time watching, thank you. Please subscribe. And yeah, so stay tuned. There should be some videos coming. Yeah, thank you. Have a good one.